Hello, welcome to Glash Games. For the past couple of months or so, I've been working on a game called Gamma. Check out a previous video for more of a fleshed out description of the game. In a short and simple explanation, Gamma is an arcade style endless roguelike that I've been solo developing, and for this update I've been focusing on making it look better and to really hone in on the current system set in place. Some big problems are one, that I'm not artistic, which explains the poor art, and two, I tend to make games absurdly hard. To start, look at this. So, what are the problems here? To start, the background is stagnant, there's no life to it, and it's basically just a PNG that looks really low effort. So, how did I overcome this? Well, I changed the stagnant image to have animations, plus, I changed all the sprites, besides the planet, of course. And now the product is this. We have a lively background that has a brightness to it, much more color, and a more of a natural feel, for lack of a better word. However, I didn't just change the background. I've done a huge revamp to the balancing by making all the level upgrades multiplicative instead of them being additive. This should make the late game easier but have a harder early game, where in previous versions the early game is stupid easy and the late game is practically impossible. Furthermore, I changed a couple of visuals, such as the turbo boosters or the better upgrades being a bright green color to draw more attention to it. I also doubled the repair starting value because enemy damage outscaled player health, which made glass cannon builds really the only viable way for higher waves. And that brings us to the last thing I added in this update. I added events. Events can occur after every boss round or every 5 rounds, and there are 2 events I've currently made. One is Asteroid Rain, where asteroids fall from the top of the screen, and another is Extra Troops, where enemy ships spawn every 1.5 seconds, and they can also shoot the player just like a normal enemy ship, but you don't get the XP. I might change that in the next update because it seems a little unfair. How did people react? To start this, here's playtester number 1. Now everything's going well. I got good feedback, he was even having fun. And then the worst thing imaginable happened. Gamma was using 8 gigabytes of RAM. How could this happen? Well, this could only mean one thing: a memory leak. Now, this is terrible. For the consumer, obviously, but from a developer approach, I don't know why this is happening. I'm tweaking. There is only 1 week out from the actual playtests, and all of a sudden I have to fix a memory leak. Turns out it was really easy, though. I was just making a pause screen every tick, which is every 60 seconds. And then, arguably, a smaller problem was that he also never really got to experience an event. They were too rare. But I digress. After I fixed that, we were ready for the real playtests, minus a couple of problems that I also found, but don't worry about those. And now we're on to playtest number 2. This one did go better. I increased the chance for events so he could actually experience them. However, there were 3 bugs found. One was that you could clip out of bounds, another is that enemies spawned from an event couldn't be killed, and lastly, enemies from Epsilon went absolutely berserk after Wave 5. These should now all be fixed. He really liked the events. As a direct quote, yes, actually a ton. The asteroids are so cool. I also think the enemy troops are also really cool. End quote. He likes the animations in the background, and the game was easier with the upgrades. So overall, check marks everywhere. On to the final playtest. Playtest number 3. This one was a little bit of a mess. We found 4 bugs and some other things that will need to be changed. However, the streak did continue, with events being, quote, absolute cinema, end quote, and that the changes were, quote, amazing, end quote. With all that being said, whilst there were bugs fit in every patch, the things I added were well received, and now we have a cleaner, more full product. This will also help with finalizing the game, as there could be more events. I could tweak the balancing and everything like that. It'll be super, super useful. Now, on to the final thing. What will the next update change, add, and revert, if there's anything? The next update will focus on the leveling up system. Change the gameplay loop a little bit, add SFX and music, and of course more events. Maybe change the planet sprites, but who knows? In the meantime, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along on this journey, and I'll see you next time. Hey, A little after comment of the video. Let me know if you rather the retrospective video like I did last time, or videos like this where I go by update. Let me know in the comments. Also, if you want to join the Discord, it's now in my bio. So check that out. And yeah, see ya.